At the beginning of this year, I made a list of goals. Not business goals, not house projects, just things I wanted to learn because they sounded fun. Because I realized somewhere along the way, adults stopped giving themselves permission to be beginners. One of those goals was learning to sew. Not because I have to, but because I wanted to. I think one of the best decisions that I made this year was creating goals that weren't about productivity, they were about curiosity. I think we spend so much time crossing things off our to-do list that we forget to add things that simply make us happy. This blouse is a practice version. It is made from an old bedsheet and it looks a little bit like a choir robe. So I proceeded to remove a whole bunch of elastic from that same bedsheet. Took me forever. Look at me here. It ended up making all the world of difference. Progress. So this is supposed to be my muslin, and I am gonna dye it. So that's gonna be fun when we do that. But for a shirt that I didn't have a lot of hope in, that looked like I was wearing either a miniature choir robe or angel wings, I like it. And I don't usually like sleeves with elastic. The cool thing is because I'm the one inserting it, the elastic is basically almost just for like pulling the shirt itself in, and for show, it's not actually squeezing my arm and being annoying. I still have the safety pins in, so I haven't sewed it. But I think it's going to look really cool. And for a muslin, I now know some things that I will do differently. The professional YouTuber that I am, my microphone decided to not continue to work. So in this clip, what I'm showing you is number one, look at how adorable the other dress turned out. I love it. This is the second version of the Allie Olsen Highlands dress. The second version of this kind of poofy sleeved shirt, I'm making it out of pieces from a dress that I hacked the bottom off of because it was too long for me. I'm going to take those pieces right here. I'm showing you that they are going to be the upper portion of the shirt. And then for the bottom portion of the shirt, I have a thrifted bed sheet, which is in a similar coordinating color. So I got a wild hair and did a whole bleep ton of YouTube University research on dyeing fabric, as well as using natural like onions, etc., to naturally dye. Apparently there's a lot more involved in that than I would have thought. And then I thought to myself, I have natural food coloring. And when you get food coloring on your clothes, you know you can never get it out, right? So obviously one logically just puts two and two together and decides to dye their shirt using food coloring. This is from, I think, the first Easter when we moved down here. Clearly we don't dye Easter eggs very often. Hold on a sec. Based on everything that I read, or not read, everything that I watched, you're supposed to pre-soak your shirt. So I'm soaking that in water. I'm going to have a pot of water that I'm going to heat up. So I'm going to kind of act as though I'm dyeing Easter eggs. So you usually would do hard-boiled eggs, 1 tablespoon vinegar, and let the eggs cool, add a half cup of water. So in essence, like I have a lot of water in here. And I'm going to be adding some vinegar so that vinegar can heat up with it. Don't try this at home, kids, if you want your stuff to not be wrecked. So I'm going to add just a bleep ton of vinegar because I had a lot of water in there. That seems about right. And I want to make, I think I'm going to do like I seem to have a lot of green lately. I was going to say I want to make it green. Should I make blue? So the original reason I was going to dye it the tangerine color is because my little skirt has little orange tulips, but it also has red tulips and blue tulips, and then it's got the green of the leaves. The problem with the blue on here is it looks really like a cool color, and I want it to be a warm neutral. I kind of feel like I need to go with green, even though I seem to have, or do I do yellow? I'm just nervous it's going to be so light in color that it's going to be like, it'll just look like a stained white sheet. Let's go green. Let's go with your first gut. I would do the red, but I think that's going to turn out pink. Okay, so we got green, which I don't even know if we ever opened. Oh, it would have been way more exciting for you to stare in there with me. I'm sorry. Okay, let me set you up so you can like watch me stir. Join me. The metal, so we don't dye our wooden spoons. Okay, that's definitely going to be really light colored, I bet. Let's get a paper towel. So we'll know the color-ish-esque based on the color on the paper towel, right? Yeah, look at that. There's not even any color on the paper towel. Maybe I did too much liquid. Well, I still need it to absorb, so okay. I mean, if we use all of it, it's fine, right? This is exciting. Well, not very exciting when, oops, sorry, when there's not a lot of color on there, huh? I guess if I add yellow and blue, it makes green, right? I think I should do that. Like add to it. We're gonna run out of the green, I can tell you that much. All right, for my painting, I know don't use a ton of blue, even though all right. This is warming up, obviously. Okay, so what do we got? Ooh, that's coming better. We like that. That's a nice celery color. I feel like it needs to be just ever so... Oh, look at it. If you compare it to the white paper towel, it actually reads a little more yellow, doesn't it? Haha. Let's give it a tad more blue. I'm going to get coloring all over my hand, I bet. Of course I will. Does it smell like vinegar in here, like you're dyeing Easter eggs already? Yes, it does. Now, also on the videos, they all said to not use your cooking pan for these, but this is food safe, so I'm not worried about it. Also, it's aluminum. Yeah, I think it's kind of good, right? What do we think? A little more green? I think so too. And by a little more, I mean a lot more. Because I feel like as it like rinses out, it'll lighten. Okay. It's still looking kind of yellow to me, which I guess isn't a horrible thing. Should we add a little more blue again? Oops. I'm liking that. It's just like a little more, got a little more green tone to it. All right, guys, I feel like we are ready. We are ready to commence the experiment. How much you want to bet I make a big old mess here? This has been washed and washed and dried and washed, so hopefully I have it correct. There you go. Do I have tongs anywhere? Kind of a rubbery end. Oh, that might be pretty. Look at that. Oh, we're going way more green than I was anticipating. Oh, I think it's going to be good, everybody. Let's turn it down to a 4. I don't want it to boil. Something about the boiling, everybody was like, don't let it boil. Okay, but I don't want it, some of it to be out of the, we don't want it to be out of the water because then it will not be equal. So now that tells me I need to get like a cover that's smaller. Of course, is going to be way too small. Maybe it'll work though. Get in there, air bubbles. So let's do a timer for timer. Let's go, I don't know. What do you think? 15 minutes, everybody? 15 minutes. 15 minutes has passed. Now, my thought or my question is, should I have vinegar in this water bath so that it continues to like color fasted, or is it good enough? Questions we don't know because we've never done this before. I'm feeling like maybe the water itself is fine. I wonder if I should put a glove on. Probably going to be hotter than I anticipate. And also I should probably get my other gloves on too, huh? Okay, let's turn this off. I mean, I guess I could let it, it really does look yellow-ish. More yellow than green, I feel like. Does it have like weird splotchiness? Should I let it go a little longer? I feel like right there, there's a little, yeah, look at that. Good thing I moved it around, huh? Oh yeah, oops. Hi, we're gonna do it a little longer. I just noticed this whole middle that was folded in on itself is not, it's like splotchy. Oh my gosh, it's almost like it has no more dye in here. I wonder if I'm gonna have to do a little bit more. That was unexpected, everybody. Yeah, look at, like it's, well, that's not gonna be cool. I don't know how insulated these are. Excellent grip, odor-free, powder-free, waterproof. It's probably not really that heat-proof, but I guess we'll see. Good thing I have mom hands. Yeah, it's hot, but not like, I'm not gonna die hot. That was definitely an unexpected situation. I thought I had stirred it and mixed it really well. Apparently that was not the case. I almost feel like I want to add more. Get rid of this water. Fence, but you are in the way a little bit, everybody. You're kind of like how Carol is always in my way. Okay, so you set that there. Yeah, it literally just sucked all the dye. That's so funny. All right, well, now we know. We knew we had a bunch of blue. We are going to finish the green here. I feel like we are kind of in the vicinity of what we were before-ish, kind of. Let's make sure you are open. Open sesame here. Where's the spots that need it? Looks like this front section is definitely in need of it a little more. All right, you go in. Yes, that is warm on my hands, in case you were wondering, everybody. Now I did use cotton, 100% cotton thread. There we go. Ooh, hot, 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 hot. She's a hot one. Carol's right below you guys, kind of antsing around. I don't think she's enjoying the smell of vinegar on her dog nose. Can't blame her. Guess we're back to timering it again. Maybe I'll do like 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes so I can give it a zhuzhing along the way this time. All right, I got a little cocky and now I'm gonna kick myself. So I was like, it needs to have a little more green to this color. So I added some of the blue in and now I have a blue splotch. So I'm really been trying to like rub out this stupid blue spot. Like why didn't I just take it all out and then mix it like I did on camera for you guys? Nope, I had to be like a total dummy. Yeah, right here, see it? And of course it's on the front, right, literally in the front. Like why are you dumb? I don't know. Very upset about it. Oops. Yes, I am spilling everywhere. And yes, it is still hot. Not like burning hot, but like definitely not comfortable hot. Okay, so now the question is, do we keep going? Do we assume that I wrecked it with that stupid blue splotch? Will it not matter in the end anyway because it'll all rinse? Like, it's a very bright yellow. It is definitely not green. So I guess that's fun. Good thing I was also okay with it being yellow. I just thought it was going to turn out being like too light, not super bright. Like this is all, well, this is actually more chartreuse. Like, yeah, dang it, Adrian. Why? And I've tried like rubbing it to like be like, hey, it's okay, spread out blue. And I think it's helped a little, but not as much as one wants. I've decided I'm gonna pull it out, put it in this bin, and then rinse with water. I don't know. This is what happens when you're just making it up as you go along. Let's hope that I didn't screw up the blue part. I think I did, but all right, come with me. Look at Carol over there. She's like, what are you doing, Mama? Also, Florida cold water is not really cold water that comes out of the tap, FYI. It is very much tepid. Does it smell like lots of eggs in here? Yes, it does. I really hope I did not screw it up on that stupid blue. Holy moly, that's bright. Yeah, look at that. Stupid blue. Come on. Oh, I just got water all over. Shit. Sorry, everybody. Oh, you see it? It was going to be so, well, bright, but it would have been all right. I literally don't know how to solve that. Other than, I guess, pulling all the color out? I don't know. Okay, now the question is, do we wash it in the washing machine alone or with dark color? Or do we just put it outside and let the sun dry it? I don't hate the color, actually. It's a very spring Adrian chartreuse color, to be honest. Look at that. You can see it. You can see it. The spot. I'm going to throw it in the laundry. See, just a quick wash. It's literally just one black washcloth, but it is. I did put a little bit of soap and a whole bunch of vinegar, so we'll see how we go. Womp womp. We're going to call the experiment a fail. Well, first of all, we did not achieve green. We clearly achieved yellow, but the problem that I found once I washed it and then dried it outside is it's very, well, I'll show you. So you can see that some part, sorry, you can see that some parts of it are way more like a dark color yellow versus a lighter color yellow. And then when you turn around, you can clearly see that it's a different color yellow. So I think because this is a food coloring, not a clothes dye, that as soon as you put the cloth, or as soon as I put the cloth into the container with the dye, whatever part touched the dye absorbed the dye. And then as I moved the fabric around, it picked up the dye, which is why it's a lot of rhyming. Poet, know it. Which is why when I pulled the shirt out to then do that extra bit to put in there, that the water was so clear. It's because it literally it absorbed into the cloth versus like absorbing into the cloth and also being in the container. I don't know how else to describe that. So I now need to figure out how to remove the color from this shirt and then dye it with actual clothing dye. I'm going to try, I think maybe I'm going to try maybe OxyClean, like that, just because it's a food coloring. If that doesn't work, I might either do bleach, or the RIT dye maker makes a color remover, like a dye remover. I got to work. I was pretty excited. Attached my sleeve on the coral colored shirt and I attached it inside out. And I did a fabulous job sewing it. So I am now picking it out meticulously, stitch by stitch, so I don't tear the softer, like this fabric. Can't believe I did that. Literally. I was like, oh my gosh, I did this the best, the best like gathered sleeve, whatever you want to call it, I've ever done. And then I, inside out. So I picked out the entire sleeve, relined up the entire sleeve. I even turned it inside out to verify I was correct. So I don't know what I was looking at. This is right side out. I did it again. 2 times in a row, I have attached it inside out. Oh, it took me like 45 minutes to unpick the first time, because when you stitch it correctly, I can't see with my glasses on up close, but like, see how tight all these little seams are? That's what you have to pick out around the whole entire thing. Avoiding my, what's called a basting stitch, the one that makes like the pleated scrunchy look. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure about why I did that twice. So this is now inside out, which looks like right way out because this is a double lined thing. So this is what the sleeve will look like finished correctly when it's on the correct side. I will be spending the next amount of time picking it off again. Inside out. Okay, she pinned it correctly. So it was me, but it wasn't me. I did put the sleeve back in, like had flipped it in the correct way. However, what I failed to notice, so in my scrap pieces that I used to create the sleeve, the long piece from the part that I showed you, I had to like sew it together to make the little sleeve. Well, what I failed to notice was dummy me. I sewed it here, so this is now the outside, but this scrap of fabric from the manufacturer had been sewn and finished, so I turned it the wrong way. I did it, but also did it here wrong, not there wrong. So now, once again, I have to rip out the seam, so I can turn it and then sew the sleeve correctly so that I could then insert it correctly. Yeah. I noticed it on the third time trying to attach the dumb sleeve. Because I used the other one, I was just like, let's just use this other one, and that's why. So it was me, but just me wrong in a different spot. Some weeks I'll make progress in the garden. Some weeks it'll be around the house. And some weeks I'll spend a ridiculous amount of time figuring out sleeves. Building your best Florida life isn't just about where you live. It's also about becoming the kind of person who's willing to keep learning. And who knows, maybe there's something you've been wanting to try. Consider this your sign.